Hi trombones, Mr. Y here, obviously, coming back at you with the trombone slur exercise number 2, part 2, okay? This is the one about artificial slurs. Remember, on natural slurs we said that if your slide and your note are moving the opposite way, in other words, if your slide is moving down, but your note is moving up, it's going to be a natural slur all by itself. Just move the slide as fast as you possibly can at the last possible minute, and if you do the right thing with your air, the slur is going to happen all by itself. It's not going to be a big deal, okay? Artificial slurs, the second half of the page. You can see down at the bottom, we start out on a D in 4th position, of course, and then the next note is going to be an E, 3rd position. Now, since our note is going up, but also our slide is going up at the same time, we're going to have to do what's called an artificial slur here. You can see it says move the slide as fast as possible and at the last possible moment, just like you did on natural slurs. Okay, but also this time you're going to use a soft do tongue between the notes. In other words, not ta ta ta, but kind of do do do. Everybody say ta ta ta, do do do. Feel what it feels different on your tongue. Ta ta ta. The tip of your tongue kind of hits the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth. Do 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 is a much flatter kind of tongue. There's a lot more space there. So when we do the slur here, if you do the D and then at the last possible moment and quickly you move your slide, but you also put a little do tongue in, that's going to break up the glissando. It's not going to be. It's going to be. If you listen really carefully, you can hear the tongue there, but what you want to do as a musician is you want to minimize that difference there. But you also don't want to get the glissando, of course. And then the second one going back down, same thing, E flat to D. The second example, we have 3 E flat up to 2 E natural. And then the second line, we have 3 E flat up to F. This is when you're moving 2 slide positions, but you still have to move it quickly and at the last minute, of course. And then the very last one, we have E flat to B flat. Again, it's 1st position, but this time you're going a little higher with your air, so. Again, putting the soft do tongue in between those. Really, the trick here is to coordinate the time at which you move your slide and your tongue. They have to be exactly together or it won't work. Okay? The third line on artificial slurs, we have D. We have D to E flat to D, and then E flat to E natural, and then E, or 3 to 2 to 3. Then we have E flat to F to E flat, or 3 to 1 to 3. And then 3 to 1 to 3 for the E flat, B flat, E flat at the very end. Okay? Here we go. Right at the beginning. 2, 3. The idea here is to make the slurs as smooth as you possibly can, of course. Okay, go into the second page of the trombone slur exercise. The first line here, again, is just jingle bells with a random slur put in. This time it's an artificial slur. So when you get to that, it's going to be G in 4th, B flat in 1st, not the alternate position. If you were to do this in alternate position, of course, it would be a natural slur. But for this exercise, I'm having you practice the artificial slurs. So do it in 1st. Okay, so we have 4, 1, 3, 1, 4, for that last part, okay? That can get a little tricky, so you might want to practice that a little bit. Pause and do this for a minute. Okay, now before you try the mix it up part, make sure you've really got a handle on artificial slurs and natural slurs, because this is where we start to try them in different contexts, of course. What I've done here for the next 3 lines is I've taken just the first half of the E flat scale, which is kind of, in terms of slide positions, the easiest trombone scale. You've got E flat 3rd, F 1st, G in 4th, and then A flat again in 3rd. Remember, it's 3rd, not 1st, not 2nd. Okay, and then high B flat is in first, of course. So half scale there is really darn easy in terms of your slide positions. And I don't want to worry about slide positions right now. I want to worry about articulations and slurs. So that's why we did this. You can see the very first phrase here, the first three measures, is all staccato until you get to the fermata. Just to kind of set where we are in terms of articulation. Okay, that's staccato, that's easy. For the next one, you can see that you've got two notes slurred together, and some of these are going to be natural slurs, and some of them are going to be artificial slurs. If you want to go through and figure it out beforehand and then write a little note to yourself inside, that's okay. Eventually, of course, you want to get to the point where you can kind of do it on the fly in just reading music, so when you sight read music, you can do it too. But for right now, when you're just learning, of course, if you want to write them in, go right ahead. Okay? Okay, so second phrase. The third phrase, we have some staccatos and some slurs. Different mix it up in the fourth phrase. Fifth. And then the very last one. Okay, and then the last four lines is just, again, jingle bells. This time it's the whole song, or a lot of the song at least, with some random slurs put in, just to practice doing the slurs, okay? Oh, sorry, I messed that up. You can hear I missed that last one. I did a gliss instead of a slur. So the last one has got to be a tongue slur. It's got to be an artificial slur. Okay? If you have any questions, of course, you guys know my email. Thanks. Good luck.